Okay, so now that you have your foam air filter installed and your brass restrictor removed from the carburetor, which lets more air into the engine, you're definitely going to be getting more horsepower, provided that you give it the right amount of feel. So on the right side of the carb or the bike, there used to be a rubber boot that covers it, just like this one right here. Leave it off for now because you'll be doing some tuning. Once you remove that, you will see the carburetor right here exposed, and there's two knobs. First of all, there's a silver one right here that you can adjust with your fingers. It is a idle speed screw or idle RPM. That determines what RPM your bike idles at. Piaggio recommends anywhere between 1800 RPM to 2000 RPM, give or take. It doesn't really matter that much, but you will be cranking it up a little bit when you're setting up your idle mix shortly. The other screw right here is your idle mixture screw, the brass one. If my camera would focus, sorry guys. But the brass one here with a flat blade screwdriver is the idle mix. There's two types of idle mix screws. One is for air and one is for mixture. Given that this is a Dellorto carb and the screw is directly in front of the carb instead of behind it, that means this is an air mixture screw. So if you turn it clockwise, the mixture will get richer. If you turn it anti-clockwise, the mixture will get leaner. I've already gone about turning it all the way in. For two-stroke tuning, it is always better to tune with a richer mixture and then setting it down rather than the other way, starting from a lean mixture. That's because for two strokes, lubricant is part of your mixture, so you would want to keep your engine lubricated, otherwise it might seize on you. The pistons might seize on you. So go ahead and turn it all the way in. I've done that already. It was 1 1/4 turn in from stock, and it should start right up. If it doesn't start, play around with it a little bit, but it is better to have a richer mixture. So now you want to let the bike warm up. If possible, take it for a ride around the block. Hopefully your mixture is not too bad that you can actually ride it. But if it is, just let it idle for 20-30 minutes so to make sure it's warmed up enough. And then you can start setting your idle mix. So the bike has been idling for about 15 minutes now. You can see that the revs have dropped to 1100. Originally it was at around 1500. Either way, it is still too low for Piaggio's recommendation and also for idle mix tuning. So for starters, you will want to turn your idle your idle speed screw all the way to 2800 RPM to 3000 RPM. Okay, turning it clockwise will make the revs climb. So right now we're at 1850 RPM. For two-stroke, Dellorto recommends increasing your RPM from the manufacturer's recommendation by 1400 RPM. For four-stroke, it would be 1200 RPM. So in this example, if it's 2000 RPM idling speed, you want to increase it by 1400 RPM, which is 3400 RPM, give or take. So let's set it at 3,000 RPM and see how it goes. So I have the idle speed screw cranked all the way in now. Can't go any further, and I'm only cruising at 2,400 RPM. That tells you that the mixture is not perfect. At this point, you want to grab a flat base screwdriver and start tuning your idle mix screw. Since it is turned all the way in, I will start turning it counterclockwise and see if the rev climbs. If the rev climbs, that means the mixture is getting better and better. So I just turned it counterclockwise by 1/4 of a turn. Give it a little rev. It's definitely improved. Another 1/4 turn out. The bike is a lot more responsive, but the idle is surging. Now you can go ahead and turn down your idle speed. So now we're back down to 2,300 RPM after turning down the idle speed screw. Now you can go ahead and try turning your idle mix screw another counterclockwise turn 1/4 and see that if that improves your RPM. I turned it counterclockwise 1/4 turn again. It takes a couple of seconds and you can see that the rev has climbed a lot, meaning the mixture is nearing perfection. Okay, so right now I am 3/4 of a turn out from fully seated, and it seems the bike is idling quite well. It returns to idle very well. Engine response is quite